the only one I think about, yeah.
Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So today's video is all about the 7 key pieces that you can use to make any outfit look more expensive. This video does continue on my autumn and fall fashion series. I do have another video coming up very soon where I look more generally at how to make your clothing and outfits look and feel more expensive and luxe. But in this video, I'm very specifically looking at autumn outfits just because we are at the beginning of a new season, so I thought it made more sense to start off quite narrow and then tackle the broader subject in a later video. So I hope you guys enjoy this and let's get started. So first up are belted blazers, and this is a newer trend for autumn winter, but I absolutely love this one. Blazers are a go-to anyway for me. I think they are such an easy way to make any outfit instantly look more pulled together and chic, and a belted blazer is such a nice update to it, and it also has the added advantage of being much easier to style and also get away with a cheaper cut. Blazers can be great, but unless they fit right, then sometimes they can look a little bit off. But with a belted blazer, you can hide so many more sins. So you can get away with a much cheaper version that looks way more expensive than it is because you are cinching it in at the waist, creating that great shape. A belted blazer that I've been loving is this hot pink one from Selfridges, which definitely won't be for everyone, but I've been loving it, particularly the very strong cut. I just think it makes such a statement, and this is what's really got me hooked onto belted blazers. I did find an affordable one in a much more muted colour, which is equally as lovely, and it doesn't look that much on the hanger, but when you cinch it up with the belt, it actually looks great. The colour is perfect for autumn as well. It's this beautiful forest green shade, so lovely. You do have these slightly cinched sleeves as well. I'm a big fan of a 3/4 length sleeve. I think they're much easier to wear and just look more elegant in general. And with the ruching, it's just even easier to have that rolled up look, but without the fuss. This one fits so nicely. It was really inexpensive, and I think it looks much fancier than it actually was. The fabric is very nice. It's also lined, which is an added bonus, so it will look pretty fancy even when you take it off as well. And I just think this is beautiful, and this is the kind of thing that will look good both with a pencil skirt and with denims, so it's an easy one to dress up or down, and I thought this was so lovely. So a belted blazer is not only an easy way to update your look, but it's also a cheap way of making your not so expensive blazer look a little bit more luxe than it is. Next up is a personal favourite of mine, and it is suede detail, and there are so many different ways to add suede to your outfit. You know, you can do a suede mini skirt or suede jacket. My personal favourite is Suede Accessories, just because I think you do get a little bit more bang for your buck because you'll be able to team them with more outfits. One of my personal favourites is the suede boot, and this one is a more expensive one. I did get these from Stuart Weitzman a few years ago, but I've definitely gotten my money's worth because I've worn these so much. But again, because suede is such a ubiquitous fabric around this time of year, you'll be able to find budget versions of these everywhere. Every single store I go into seems to stock suede boots at the moment. It's just a very popular style, and one of my favourite ways to wear suede boots is to contrast it with a chunky knit, whether that's a sweater with some skinny jeans or otherwise a sweater dress. I love sweater dresses, and they're an easy one to get at a really affordable price, but you can instantly dress them up by pairing them with something amazing like a good pair of suede boots, and it instantly adds a lot more interest to the outfit because you do have those contrasting textures. So this is a go-to outfit for me. It's super simple to slip on. You know, a sweater dress is just a one-item outfit. Pull on your boots and you get that added interest with the different textures, and it instantly looks a lot more expensive than it is. And speaking of accessories, I had to mention mock croc. It is a huge trend this season, and it's such a beautiful, luxurious way to update your accessories. I do have a very fancy luxe version here, which is my Givenchy Antigona in the mock croc, but thankfully you can get the look for a lot less. So I have a few different price points here if you did want something a little bit more affordable, or even if you just weren't fully sure on the trend, because it is one that I feel like people might love or hate. So if you're a bit more borderline and you wanted something a little bit smaller to incorporate that mock croc look, I have 3 options here. So still a very luxe option, but it is under £500, is my Saint Laurent mock croc wristlet, which I've been loving. I actually got this last year and I've been enjoying it ever since. It is beautiful quality and it's actually very functional with the wristlet design. but it is still quite expensive, I do know that. If you did want something still designer but you didn't want to spend £500 or so, then the Uptown clutch is a very, very nice option as well. I know this isn't mock croc, but they do my exact one in a beautiful black mock croc style, which is so stunning. And considering these are priced at, I think it's £345, obviously still a lot of money, but a lot less than other items from Saint Laurent, and something that's still very luxurious and classic, especially in that beautiful mock croc design. So I love these, but if you did want to go a little bit more wallet friendly, I did find this one from Whistles right here, which I thought was beautiful, and I'm going to compare it to my Saint Laurent. Like, that is a very, very similar looking clutch, and this one is still very nice quality, so it's not super cheap, it's still real leather. So this one was priced at £50, I think, but it looks so much more expensive than it is. And an easy way of getting your cheaper accessories to look a lot more luxe is to always go for gold hardware, particularly paler gold hardware. It's an instant way to make your accessories look a lot more luxe than they are, and this is just a perfect example of it. It's still very, very well made. You have that beautiful whistle stamping right there, you have the pale gold hardware, and the texture and finish is just beautiful. It's very shiny, it's not patent leather, it's just normal leather, but the overall finish is stunning. The attention to detail is very nice, and it's just a very beautiful piece that really fits in with that mock croc look, but at a fraction of the cost of some more luxe versions. Next up is tailoring, and I think tailoring is important all year round, particularly if you like wearing blazers like I do, but especially when we go into the colder months and people start wearing more coats, tailoring is so important. And I really do strongly believe that if there is one area of your wardrobe where you're going to spend a lot of money on a clothing piece, it should be a coat. You know, you can get away with more inexpensive versions on every single item in your wardrobe, but investing in a good coat will never let you down, particularly as it is something that you can wear every single day in winter, and it's the first thing that people see. So my two go-tos at the moment are my Reese coat, which I've talked about in many videos now, but I love this to bits, and this wasn't super cheap. It was £325, I think, so definitely not a bargain one, but at the same time, for the quality that you're getting, it is very, very good value, I think. And I did go for a very, very classic cut, you know, single-breasted, medium length, which is my go-to for ensuring that it's going to stand the test of time. I'm not going to have to replace it next year because it's going to look out of style. I did also find this one from Whistles as well, which was slightly cheaper. This one came in at $280, I think, and I followed the exact same pattern of formula here, which is single-breasted, medium length, and I paid attention to the cut of the sleeves. If you watch my coat video, I talk a lot about sleeves in that video, but if you're after an expensive looking cut, looking at how slim fitting the sleeves are is an easy way to do that. If the sleeve is too bulky, it's instantly going to make the coat look a lot less expensive and less well fitting. So always pay attention to these sleeves, which is the first thing I looked at when trying on both of these coats. And I know that neither of these are particularly cheap, but if you did want to look at the high street for some coat options, my two favorites are Zara and also Mango. I have found great coats at both of those stores, and they look a lot more expensive than they are if you are willing to hunt. And that's always the key when it comes to shopping on the high street for good tailoring. There are really good options out there, but you just have to be willing to spend the time to look for them. I did want to mention one hack though, which I love, and I've used this for years now. This is a faux fur stole that I got from H&M 10 years ago. I got it absolutely ages ago, and I've been wearing it ever since. And if you did have a coat in your wardrobe that you didn't want to replace but you did want to update a little bit, this is a great way of doing that. I actually added a button to this just to make it a little bit more functional. It didn't come with a button, and I didn't like the way it flopped about, so always play around with things as well if you do find a really good inexpensive version. But I love this for just draping over coats. It's an instant way to make something look a lot more cozy and winter appropriate, and it makes every coat look so much more expensive. I think this was £11 from H&M 10 years ago. Like, it was the best buy ever, and I can add this to any coat. It instantly makes it look very luxe, and it also makes it look like I have a whole different coat in my wardrobe. So always use accessories to change up key pieces in your wardrobe, especially when it comes to more pricey pieces like coats. And a faux fur stole is a very easy way to do that, and these can be very, very inexpensive as well. Next up is another personal favorite of mine. I feel like I'm saying that about a lot of these categories, but I particularly love this piece. It is the pleated skirt. It's something that I've worn for many years and it's a constant go-to wardrobe staple for me because it is so easy to wear and they're also just very fun to wear as well. And the best thing about a pleated skirt is that it's almost impossible to tell an expensive version from a cheaper version. And take that from someone who has owned dozens of pleated skirts over the years at varying different price points, and you cannot tell the difference between a really pricey one and a cheaper one, which makes the pleated skirt the ideal wardrobe piece, in my opinion, to update your wardrobe on a budget. So I have 3 examples here, and my fancy one here costs £175 from Net-a-Porter, which I love and I think it was a great buy. I've been wearing it constantly and I love the pattern, I love the flow of it. But I do have 2 budget versions here, which I think are also really, really great, which cost a fraction of that. So they are both from ASOS. One of them is this beautiful deep red, which is showing up a lot brighter on camera, but I will do a cutaway so you can see the accurate color. It's this beautiful deep red pleated mini skirt and this lovely snow leopard print pleated skirt as well. This has more of a silky feel, and this was, I think, £35 I want to say, or something like that. And it looks and feels so much more expensive. It has that beautiful swish to it. The fabric is so silky soft and it's just absolutely stunning. Similarly, the red one is more of a jersey type material, so you don't quite have that luxe feel of the fabric, but unless you get very, very up close, you're not going to be able to tell that. And because the drape is still very nice, it still has that very, very luxe look as well. So pleated skirts are a great way to update your look. They are so chic and easy to wear, but at the same time, you can find absolute bargains which look way more expensive than they are. My next category are Silky Separates, and this is another one where you do have a few different options as to how to incorporate it. My 2 favorite ways are via a lace camisole or via a silky skirt. And the best thing about Silky Separates is that, yes, we associate them more with very expensive fabric, i.e. silk, but because man-made fabrics have advanced so much recently, you can get some amazing fabrics that really look and feel like silk, but don't have that crazy expensive price tag. So it is a great way of upgrading your look and making it look very luxe. But because you do have so many fabric options now, you can find amazingly affordable versions everywhere. So I have 2 examples here. So my first one is one of my favorite tops ever. It's my Cami NYC camisole. This is just a very simple lace cami, and this is 100% silk. So this cost, I think, $150, something like that. And I love it. Again, I don't regret the purchase because I've gotten so much use out of it, but you can definitely find very affordable versions which look very similar. I had a quick look on ASOS and I found 3 gorgeous options within the first 60 seconds of looking. So this is definitely one that is easy to replicate. I have a budget-friendly version here that I got, I think, a year ago, maybe 2, from Nordstrom, and this is another one of my favorites. I'd say they're pretty level pegging in terms of how much I like them, and this was like 1/10 of the cost of my Cami NYC one. So it's definitely possible to save on things like this, and my favorite way of wearing them to make an outfit look very luxe and special is to layer them under sweaters. So, you know, having a cardigan or even a deep v-neck where you do have the lace popping out. Again, it's that element of adding interest to your outfit just to make it look a little bit more interesting, paying attention to detail, making it look overall more luxurious. But if you didn't want to do a silky top, then a silky skirt is another great option, particularly for this season where these kind of silky bias cut skirts are everywhere. I mentioned this one in my autumn fall trends video and I love it. It has such a beautiful shimmer to it. It just flows in the nicest way. It's a beautiful deep color as well, which always helps to make an outfit look more luxe, especially for autumn. And it's just an easy one to pair with any manner of tops, whether that's a simple t-shirt or a nice chunky sweater. The options are really endless with something like this, and because of the silky fabric, we do have that association with silk, and so it instantly makes the outfit look a lot more expensive. So Silky Separates are a great way to go if you do want to add more interest to your outfit and also have that luxurious feel as well. And finally, my last way to make your outfit look more expensive for autumn is to incorporate leather clothing pieces into your outfit. Leather is another fabric which just looks very expensive because it usually is quite expensive, and that's why whenever you get any accessories, particularly handbags, the jump from faux leather to real leather is always quite substantial in terms of price because leather is quite an expensive material. So by adding a leather clothing piece, whether that is a leather skirt or a leather jacket, your outfit is of course going to look more expensive because it is more expensive by nature. But the best thing is that faux leather has come on leaps and bounds, and there are so many great faux leather options that really look like the real deal. So my two favorites right here are a skirt and a pair of faux leather leggings that I found, and these two are both the most realistic versions I have found to date. So the first one just came from ASOS. I've been looking for something similar for a very long time, but often faux leather can feel a little bit plasticky, so you do have to hunt to find a really good one, and I stumbled across this and it is perfect. The fit is really great. It's a nice length, so it is technically a pencil skirt, but it's not too long, it's not super short, it's just ideal, and the feel of it is so realistic. If you told me this was leather, I would believe you, and it was like £30, so I love this. It's such an easy one to style as well. You can team it with a t-shirt, with a cami, with a chunky sweater. Again, the options are really limitless, and it's an easy one to throw on and look very chic. And it just looks very fancy because it does have that faux leather look. And if you did want to do a skirt, then I have found a pair of faux leather leggings which look so real, it's crazy. I do have a few other variations of faux leather leggings already in my wardrobe. I have a pair from Spanx which I love to bits because I think they look great, but they don't look hyper realistic, whereas these actually look like faux leather. They're incredible. So they're from Commando, and these aren't the cheapest when it comes to faux leather leggings, but they are certainly less expensive than real leather leggings, and you really do get that proper leather look. The texture is just incredible. I don't know how they've done it. These do fit very snug though, so if you're in between sizes, I would definitely say to size up if you were interested in them, but otherwise you kind of have to persevere and really tug these on. But because they do fit so slim, they really just smooth everything out. They look great on, and I've been having so much fun teaming these with blouses and sweaters. There are just so many different options, and again, you have that faux leather look, which looks like real leather, and it instantly makes your outfit look so much more luxurious and expensive. So that is it for this video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. If you have any questions for me, then leave me a comment down below, but I will leave links to everything I've featured, as well as the general categories if you just wanted to use it for a reference list, in the description section below. If you liked the video, please do give this a thumbs up, and as always, thank you so much for watching. I will see you in my next one. Bye, guys.